Yes, people, good afternoon. Hope you are doing good. I am not doing good because my hair is not playing ball today, but we're at the coach gym for legs. I'm going to be taking you guys through everything that I do on my lower body days to make sure that I'm keeping all my muscle mass on prep and not becoming a skinny little dweeb. So I'm 13 weeks out as of the time of filming. Let's get into it. So the first exercise for today is obviously something incredibly exciting. Just running through the McGill Brig 3 here to improve general sort of breathing, bracing, control around stuff. Might be placebo, but it seems to help for a lot of people, and it's made my hips feel a little bit nicer going into the session. Takes 3 minutes to go through, means I'm less likely to get injured, at least from my experience. And I'm somebody that tends to run into a little bit more nagging stuff, especially in a fat loss phase. It's worth going through these to make sure that that doesn't happen, because one of the worst things you can do for keeping your muscle in a dieting phase is get injured and then not be able to train. If you want to make sure that you keep your muscle mass in a fat loss phase, you need to prioritize injury prevention. One of the absolute worst things that you can do is get injured, because then you can't train the thing. Then you've got no reason for your body to keep that muscle mass, and it fucks off away while you're in a caloric deficit. Or you have to extend your timeline, spend some time at maintenance while this niggle, injury, whatever it may be, heals up before you can keep progressing in order to keep your tissue in. Even then, some of that's going to be sacrificed. You've been training for a good chunk of time. The three best ways I've found to stop yourself getting injured in a fat loss phase is, number one, making sure that you are warmed up appropriately, doing stuff like the McGill Big 3, walking on a treadmill, doing 1, 2, 3 warm-up sets, depending upon the exercise, to get your body into the groove of it. And then during those working sets, potentially working in a higher rep range or keeping a rep or two in reserve if you find that you're somebody that starts to get some niggles as you approach failure a little bit more. And then the last one is, funnily enough, don't do shit that hurts, okay? If you're doing an exercise and it's giving you pain or it's starting to cause you more and more problems, lay off that for a little while. Work those muscle groups in a different way so that that thing can recover, rather than trying to be hardcore and push through it and just making it worse, and meaning that you have to take weeks, if not months, off training that thing. The best way to keep your muscle mass at the end of the day is to not be injured, so you can carry on training, so you can carry on sending that signal to grow. You do not have to do a top set and then a back off in order to build muscle. People treat this as if it's as magic as taking Tren. In reality, this is just one of the millions of ways that you can train. You could do a higher rep set first to get more sensation. You could do 2 sets in the same rep range. That was 13. The next one's going to be a little bit more. That set was 13, and the next one's going to be above 10 as well. But when I get onto the leg press, where I prefer slightly lower reps, say 6 to 10, I'll do 2 sets in that rep range. Not anything magic about that. There'll be different movements which you prefer various rep ranges, and don't get married to one arbitrary way of trying to build muscle when in reality it's just unneeded and going to get you injured on some stuff, to be honest. So the bones in your feet, not that I'm going to get mine out to show you, are not a straight line. A little bit like the hand, they angle down slightly. But all of the platforms that we use for calf raises are just a straight line, right? And that can tend to make stuff feel a little bit iffy as you try and come up onto the toes. So what I'd suggest you do is spin them in ever so slightly, so that bony bit of your foot actually lines up with the straight edge of the platform. Might make it feel a little bit nicer, less painful, and more often than not, proper alignment with stuff tends to make it feel a little bit better on your joints and the muscle that you're trying to train. Win-win. We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to say that if you are enjoying the video thus far, like the sort of style that I have when it comes to my coaching, the way I present this and all of that good stuff, make sure to subscribe, give the video a like, maybe share it on your social media if you're feeling particularly nice, for all of the other dumb people that are interested in bodybuilding and torturing themselves in the gym. That would be massively appreciated. And then if you do want any help when it comes to bulking, cutting, building a specific body part, just send me a message and I'll send you over one of the many free guides that I've put together. And do not worry, it is not some boring PDF that the coach probably didn't even make themselves. It's a nice interactive video guide with plenty of shit jokes in there, because that's the only sense of humor I've got. This is the first time in 2 weeks that I'm doing this leg press. I don't know why I'm doing this, as if you can't count to 2. That'd be particularly worrying if you couldn't, no maths coaching is available here, don't worry. But I haven't done this one for 2 weeks because last Wednesday I sort of pulled something on the inside of my groin. I was feeling a bit sketchy coming into this very, very deep hip flex position. So I just did a single leg press on the other side last week, as I was saying earlier, funnily enough, staying away from the shit that hurts so that this little pull could rehab and then I was okay going forward rather than trying to push through it, fucking myself for 3 months and being small on stage. Do not let being in a deficit make you weaker. Your mindset going into these sets, into these sessions, is key for keeping your strength and therefore your muscle mass as you're going through a fat loss phase. If you're walking into the session telling yourself, oh, I'm on low food, I don't have enough energy, I'm going to be weaker, I'm going to regress, that's what's going to happen. Okay. Tell yourself that you've got what it takes. Tell yourself that you can still progress by that 1.25, 2.5 kilos and keep that moving up week after week after week. And you'll keep your muscle mass and you'll keep your strength and you'll actually perform well the entire fucking time rather than ending up at the end of your diet for a photo shoot, competition, whatever it may be, stringy, shit, and hating yourself with a couple of injuries to boot. Stop adding weights to your sets every single week. You are not getting 5 to 10 kilos stronger from one session to the next. The rate that the body progresses at is incredibly slow, and it's because of that adaptation that you're then able to lift more load or do more reps the next time you train. So if you are going to try and progress your set, you need to make sure that you're keeping form the same. And the way that I like to do that is by using a double progression model. So we can build the load up by 1.25 kilos per week, something like that, the smallest possible load increment, or increase the reps week to week to week. And then when you get to the top of that rep range, you can add more load. Again, the smallest possible increment. Don't slap on another plate just because you hit 10 reps. Especially when you're in a fat loss phase, it is key not to get ahead of yourself, because if you do that, you get injured. Then you can't do the exercise again. And then you definitely won't fucking grow, or even at the very least, maintain your tissue. Stop being so impatient in your fat loss phases. If your body weight is coming down faster than the US stock market after Trump's tariffs, and then it hits a stall, and it stays there for a couple of days, there is no need to panic. I have been 147.8 pounds for the last 4 days in a row. And then, do you know what happened yesterday? It dropped by a pound overnight, despite not doing anything different. Sometimes it takes a little while for the body to get things moving. I've not gone from losing 1.5 pounds a week every week for the last 7 to not being in a deficit anymore. But when you start to see that same number on the scale, your head goes, oh fuck, I'm not losing fat. You get demotivated and then you fucking binge your face off, which is the very reason that you don't lose any body weight, because just as that drop is about to happen, you go and eat like a cunt again. Stay consistent and the body weight will come off. And hell, if it's still not, drop me a DM to find out more about coaching. If your hip thrust strength is skyrocketing, but your glutes aren't getting any bigger, then I want you to try these 2 tips. The first thing is where you are putting the pressure through your foot. Experiment with pushing out to the side, pulling inwards. And my personal experiment with pushing out to the side, pulling your feet inwards. And my personal favorite is driving through the heel and almost having the front of that foot levitating upwards. And then from there, you can try the same thing with your knees. Do you get a better connection to the glutes when you pull in, when you push out to the side? See what gets you the best connection, because it won't be the same for your mate as it is for you or your coach, whatever it may be. The body is not a simple thing with one answer that applies to absolutely everybody. It's okay for me pushing out with the knees and through the heel to feel best, whilst you like to pull inwards and almost drive through the inside of your foot. Nobody's going to die. We're all going to get big glutes. Speaking of which, if you like more help when it comes to building your legs, DM me the word legs for a free copy of my leg growth guide. Stop skipping abs when you are in a surplus. If you want to have a lean, defined midsection when you're on the beach, at your photo shoot, on the bodybuilding stage, then you need to fucking train them. Find exercises that you connect well with. Stop just going through the motions of it or pulling with your arms when you're on a machine like this. The movement needs to come from your spine. It needs to come from curling over and getting your core as contracted as you can, bringing your rib cage down towards your hips. And something that really, really helps with that is exhaling as you go through that rep to get your abs as tight as physically possible and get a good connection to them. So don't skip your abs if you're actually trying to look lean. And if you can't lose any body weight at the moment, drop me a message with the word cutting and I'll send you across my free guide to help with that. Speaking of which, if you can't seem to lose any body weight at the moment, DM me the word shreds and I'll send you across my free fat loss guide that isn't some boring fucking ebook that I didn't even write. I'm dyslexic as fuck. I know nobody likes reading, so it's an interactive video guide with plenty of shit. And that is the session done. Finished up with a round of posing, a quick practice of the routine as well, which you guys will obviously see when it is done and dusted. But that was a pretty good session considering I wasn't feeling 100% going into it. And you're going to feel like that a little bit at the time, but still going with the mindset of doing your absolute best under the circumstances. Yes, I've been up since 6:30 for PT clients all morning on a Saturday. Bro is just grinding and getting it done, then coming here, having an hour posing session, little walk, and getting straight into the session. Probably should have had some but I'm trying to save that as much as possible to use that towards the end of prep when I actually need it, whereas at the moment I can sort of go in, get it done, all of that good stuff. So, yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm going to go home, shower, eat, mong out, and play Oblivion Remastered because it's good. So if you've enjoyed this, as I say, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Drop me a DM if you're interested in coaches. Only one coach, you only need me, that's it, because I'm getting very, very, very fucking busy now, and do not have that much space to take on many more people. I know every single coach says this, but I genuinely fucking mean it. I'm working 6 days a week and getting a hell of a lot of work done, that is, but yeah, I'm rambling, my brain's retarded. In a bit, people, have a nice day, boom.